Hi everyone, this is Justin with CrossFuse here, and today I want to do a demonstration of ServiceNow incident and JIRA issue integration. So connecting the two systems so that an incident creates an issue creates an incident, and then passing back and forth updates between the two systems. So let's get started here. The business challenge I want to address in this demo is the visibility for IT into development issues, right? So customer logs or somehow sends an application issue over to the development team. They put that in JIRA, and service desk, incident management managers don't have insight from ServiceNow into those issues in JIRA. I also want to address the customer visibility into the status of development issues. So as part of configuring ServiceNow, we usually set up our portal. Our customers can go see the status of their incident. When those issues get logged into JIRA and there's no integration, the customers may not have visibility into what the current status is. So that creates a lot of manual emails or phone calls of, what's the status of this thing I reported. And the third thing is to illustrate the loss of productivity with tracking and documenting in multiple systems of record. So if I'm a developer and I've got my development tools, I log the issue there, but incident management and service desk needs visibility in ServiceNow, well then I got to document there, and now I'm documenting in two systems. I may be updating in two systems, trying to keep them in sync, logging my change request in ServiceNow, and copying all the details over from the incident within JIRA. So hopefully we'll address all three of those challenges, and I want to talk through those by walking through a story real quick. So let's take the customer here in the center. Let's say the customer has an issue and they go ahead and contact the developer. The developer logs that issue into JIRA and starts tracking it. Maybe they put it in their backlog, it makes its way into a sprint, it gets released and follows the development process as usual. So at some point in the future, the customer contacts the service desk for something else. Maybe it's a piece of equipment or whatever. And while they're on the phone with the service desk, they say, hey, what's the status of my application issue? Well, the application issue has been logged to JIRA, and service desk doesn't have any visibility into it. So service desk reaches out to the developer, says, I have this customer, they're looking for an update on their application issue, and the developer gives it an update, and the service desk goes back to the customer and lets them know the update. Meanwhile, let's fast forward a week or two later, and the application goes completely down. There's an application outage. So service desk contacts the incident manager, and the incident manager starts running an incident to address this particular outage. They're trying to brainstorm, figure out what's wrong, and the service desk goes, hey, I remember this customer called and asked about a update on a status of an issue with the same application. I think they may be related. And the incident manager's like, aha, that's great. Let me go talk to the developer. So they go talk to the developer fills them in on the issue, and incident manager says, great, keep working on it, let's get this fixed. And the developer goes in and works on it. Meanwhile, the incident manager goes to the app or development manager and says, hey, your team needs to be logging tickets in ServiceNow, so the service desk has visibility, so the incident management team has visibility, and the app dev manager agrees and says, I'll go talk to my developer. So what happens? The application manager goes and talks to the developer and says, you need to log your tickets in a ServiceNow, not just JIRA, because no one can see them. Only you guys in the development team can see them. So the developer says, okay, I'll put it in there so they see it, and they put the ticket into ServiceNow. Well, what happens? The customer receives a notification that their incident has been created in ServiceNow, and they're puzzled, confused, because they thought they'd already logged that incident or that issue with the developer. So they're like, hey, let me just call the developer, figure out what's going on here, and say, is this something new? Is this a thing I already reported to you? And the developer is like, yes, it's the same thing you already reported. I needed to put it in ServiceNow so everybody could see that there was an issue, and everything's good. We're working on it. We're trying to get the application up and running. So in between talking to the development manager and getting a notification or having the customer reach out, the developer hasn't had any time to work on the outage or the incident, and so the incident manager is looking for an update on the incident. So they reach back out to the developer and say, what's the status? And the developer throws up his hands, frustrated. He's like, I can't get anything done. I'm trying to talk to you and my development manager and the customer, and I can't, I haven't had a chance to work on this. So you get the idea. Mass confusion, people working in multiple systems, and no one knows what's going on, or no one has that complete picture. And that's what I want to illustrate in this demonstration. Talking about ServiceNow and incidents being integrated to JIRA and issues is going to increase the visibility and usability of both of these systems. On the ServiceNow side, the customer is going to have visibility through the portal like they do with all their incidents and their requests. The service desk and the incident management team is also going to have visibility because that issue will now be visible as an incident within ServiceNow. And by nature of being an incident, if you're using service level agreements, you can track those now. If the notifications have been configured for this has been assigned to you, this has been opened, this has been resolved, all that will now happen back and forth between both the customer and the teams that are working on it. And then in ServiceNow, we'll have a single pane of view into the workload. On the JIRA side, the application developers are going to have visibility into that application or that issue with all the rest of their development work. So they're not going to have to go to ServiceNow to do this versus do that over in JIRA for their development. There's no need for double entry between the two systems. That same incident can be tracked as an issue associated with sprints, associated with products, and then product pipelines within JIRA. And then it eliminates the need for separate reporting out, like you saw in the story there, to an incident manager, to a service desk, to the customer, to the manager's manager, or to the developer's manager, and all that craziness. What does that do for us? We get detailed communication between both systems. And for the customer, the developer, the service desk, the incident management team, everybody's collaborating and there's better teamwork among all the teams. That increases productivity because we're not duplicating data in two systems, and all that leads to superior outcomes. What I'm going to demonstrate to you today is using the integration JIRA or integration hub JIRA spoke within ServiceNow. A little disclaimer, if this may require licensing depending on how your instance is configured, so if you're not sure, reach out to CrossViews or reach out to your ServiceNow rep to confirm the appropriate licensing for your environment. I'm going to show a ServiceNow incident, creating an issue in JIRA, and then I'm going to put a comment on that issue in JIRA, which is going to flow over to ServiceNow, and we'll see it as an additional comment. Then I'm going to switch to JIRA and create an issue, and when we're going to see that actually create a incident within ServiceNow, I'm going to make a comment on the incident in ServiceNow, and that's going to create a comment over in JIRA on the JIRA side. So enough of showing you slides, let's actually get to the demo. On the left-hand side of my screen, I have ServiceNow. On the right-hand side of my screen, I have JIRA. And like I said, we're going to start on the ServiceNow side. I'm going to click New, and that's going to open up my new incident form. I'm going to go ahead and use myself as the caller, and we're going to give it a short description. So this is going to be a demo of ServiceNow, if I could spell right, ServiceNow incident to JIRA issue. And then I'm going to have some details of what the issue is that needs to be fixed. And of course I have all the nice ServiceNow stuff. It's trying to give me out search results. And the way I've got this integration configured is it's only sending incidents that get assigned to the appropriate group, because not everybody's in JIRA, just our development team is. So I'm going to pick the JIRA demo group, and my workflow that's configured is going to see a new incident got created, assigned to that team that's using JIRA, and it's going to go ahead and push that over to JIRA. So let's click Save here. And now my incident is created, my workflow is working in the background, it's reaching out to JIRA, populating all that information. I'm just going to come down here and refresh my issue list, and we should see that pop up here any second. There it is right at the top, number 22. I've got demo of ServiceNow incident to JIRA issue, matches my short description over here, details of what this issue is, matches over here. It's even got my name as a reporter because I was the caller over here. And what I'm going to do is scroll down here to the comments, and we're going to say, we're going to pretend we're the developer and say, I see the issue, working on this now, will provide an update shortly, right? So, you know, customer friendly, hey, we got this, don't worry. So I'm going to save that, and there's a webhook configured on the JIRA side for any comments that are added or issues that are created, and that's going to pump that over to ServiceNow, and I've got a subflow that's watching for those updates from JIRA, and it's going to update the correct ticket on the JIRA on the ServiceNow side. So if I scroll down here, I didn't even have to refresh the screen. You see this just came in a couple seconds after I entered it. I see the issue, working on this now, will provide an update shortly, and even puts my name of who made that comment over on the JIRA side. So you see I did this in the configuration. I did it as an additional comment. You could have done it as a work note. The additional comment that I probably have those sending a notification to the customer so they can see the additional comments in case we are needing information. So that's ServiceNow to JIRA. Let's do the reverse. Let's actually create something in JIRA, and we're going to see it create something over in ServiceNow. So I'm going to hit the plus sign up here, and we're going to call this demo of JIRA issue, creating a ServiceNow incident. And I'll just copy that down here, and we'll paste. And for fun, we'll say, here are some more details, ... And I'm just going to click create. And it created that issue over here. I'm just going to click back. And I should see that show up here. Actually, it already created it. So I have demo of JIRA issue creating a ServiceNow incident. And let's go ahead and open that up. And we see all that stuff was created. Here are some more details, just like I put in over here. Actually, you don't see the ticket on the right-hand side, so let's refresh. And there it is. Same ticket we're looking at in both systems. Got created pretty quickly. And what I'm going to do is just scroll down here, and we're going to put in an additional comment. So let's say that was a really fast integration. Too cool! Exclamation point. And we're going to post that. And I'm just going to scroll down here. We're going to watch the comments, and we should see a comment show up here. I might have to hit refresh, but it's pretty instantaneous. It's watching for those comments to be entered, and it's going to reach out to JIRA and put that information. I'm just going to click on this other issue and then go back to this issue and see if I can see that comment. Scroll down, there it is, 15 seconds ago. That was a really fast integration, too cool, created by, and it puts my email address, so we can see who actually put that update over in that system. So that's the integration between ServiceNow and JIRA for incidents to issues. But what are the possibilities? So I showed you creating something and adding comments to it, but you could do field updates, status updates, you could auto close tickets in either system depending on what happens. You could do this for service catalog tasks, problem tasks, project tasks, and don't forget there's even the ServiceNow DevOps integration that you can actually use. So that concludes our demonstration. Thank you for your time and thanks for watching this. If you'd like help with your ServiceNow to JIRA integration, send us an email at letstalk@crossfuse.com. Thanks.